What's up, y'all? It's me, your boy Asmongold, and today we're going to look at how to get challenge mode gold for Scarlet Halls. Now, the first thing you need to worry about here is making sure that you have the guardsmen and throwing the buckets of meat on them, and also avoiding the angry hounds. And basically, the way you do that is that you assign basically one person to get the first guardsman, one person to get the second guardsman, and one of those people should be the tank and a backup also. Now, the angry hounds will 1 to 2 shot you, so you need to make sure that you do not get hit by those at all. And so you want to move towards the right side of the room, and as soon as you get to the second angry hound, start moving towards the left, and you kind of just, slant across as you see. Oh yeah, our healer died here. Don't worry, we get it done. But as you can see, I don't know why he was not in the right spot. Anyway, that'll make me mad. So anyway, basically what we're going to do here, after we get the buckets of meat on the guards and get those under control, then we're going to run up to the top, or up to the guardsmen here. And this is a very weird thing that we're going to be doing here, is that we're going to reset him so we can get 2 sets of these archers. And the reason for that is so we can get the archers for the mob count, because doing this is extremely low risk, whereas doing the pull right before Herod, or Armsmaster or Harwin, is a lot more higher risk, or a lot higher risk. And basically, as you can see, we're getting all of the master archers down, and at that point we're going to kite all the way back to almost the first hallway, and that's going to despawn the commander, and then we're going to be able to go back up there again and kill those archers. As you see, and there he is, and he's despawning, and we're moving back up, and we're going to kill the archers again. And as I said before, this is going to allow us to not have to get the packs of the watchmen on the sides. As you can see, after we kill this pack, we're not going to have to worry about those and throwing the meat on them at all. And also, we're going to be saving time by, again, not having to deal with the pack right before Armsmaster Harwin. And that's like a medium risk pack, whereas this is a 0 risk pack. Like, there's no reason. If you're wiping on this pack, just call it quits because your group sucks. And basically, as soon as we do it twice, as you can see, we get the both sets for the mob count, and then we just pretty much kill this guy. There's not really much else to be said here at this point. You just need to be focusing him down and killing him. Minimal AoE, honestly, because he has so much more health than the Master Archers, that the Master Archers will also help the tank get more vengeance. And here, the tank opted to basically pull the Guardsman with the boss for extra vengeance. I didn't really agree with this whole idea, but he just kind of did it anyway. And so the boss does pretty much 2 abilities. The first ability he does is he calls a hound to come attack you, basically. And the second ability he does, which is actually important, is he does an ability called Piercing Throw. Now what Piercing Throw does is he throws it at one player, he puts an arrow over their head, and anybody, including that player, and anybody in between the Piercing Throw, him and that player, gets targeted with this debuff, and this debuff does, I think, 20,000 damage per second or something like that. So it's a pretty high damage debuff, and so what you want to do is make sure that you're not in a line. It's very simple. Make sure you're not behind anyone or in front of anyone. Just make sure that everybody's kind of spread out the way that we are. I think that we did get it on a couple of people. This was pretty sloppy, honestly, as you can see. The healer already died. And I think that might help you guys learn a little bit better. And as I said, I do include the commentary for all of these videos, and so you guys can see how we adapt to basically bullshit happening. Because trust me, bullshit happens all the time. And if you're going to wait for a perfect run to happen, you're going to be waiting for a long time. So it's better to see how people adapt to problems rather than just a run where no problems occur. And basically, if you're having trouble with the dogs, one way to handle them is to fear them. Our Warlock could have Howl of Terror at them. On my Warrior, I can use Intimidating Shout, and that takes them out of the fight for effectively 7 seconds. And also, they have to run back. And so, Fear is a very good alternative for dealing with the dogs, and also they won't run anywhere to aggro mobs because the mobs are too far away. Now, as soon as you kill these, you want your healer to get an Amber, as I said, and as you guys can see. And as soon as we get down to the bottom of these stairs, we're going to use our invisibility potions, and we're going to go all the way up to Armsmaster Harwin. And we're going to be skipping all packs in here. Whereas usually you kill the last pack, as I said, I've said this like 3 times, I'm going to say it again, you would kill the pack right here, but because we reset and we killed the archers twice, we don't have to kill that pack, and we also don't have to deal with the extra watchmen right before the first boss. And so we move in, and while you're moving in, you want to make sure that you're avoiding the big pack that goes back and forth. Then what we did is we pulled him all the way up to the top here. And what you want to do at this point is you want to have everybody stacked behind the boss. Now this is important because the boss does a cleave, and you don't want to get hit by the cleave. And basically, also our healer didn't really understand what we were doing, and so also the mobs that spawn, they have a weird way of aggroing. Basically, you can't really get threat on them until their shields is broken, and so on the way down, basically they will get aggro on the healer because of healing aggro, and up at the top here, the shields will be broken quicker, and also if you have him stacked right in front of the or everybody stacked right behind the boss, the ads will go right where the tank is, so it'll be easy for cleave. As soon as he goes into his little blade storm mode here, you want to make sure that as soon as he goes down or he starts spinning, you basically avoid the spin at all costs. I think our healer gets hit by this too, actually. I don't remember if it was this occasion or not. I think he got hit by it like 2 or 3 times, and so I really kind of lost track. Oh yeah, yep, there he is, and he is dead. And so this is kind of bad. And after the first what's it called? After the first whirlwind he does, he also becomes enraged, and he gains increasingly more enrage stacks. Now I can shiv those off, and basically anything that purges enrage enrages can deal with that, but usually you'll be able to kill him before it becomes really an issue. Now the big pack here is a big problem. We opted to pull it around here in the corner so we could have everything grouped up. That was a very good decision for us, and also we used all of our defensive cooldowns, such as, I think we use Earth Elemental here. Yeah, as you see there it is, it's popping out. Now what you want to focus on here mostly is as soon as you kind of get everything under control is you want to focus on the evokers because they do Holy Fire, and the Holy Fire does about 300,000 damage, and so it can global your tank if you're not ready for it. Other than that, there's not really much other things that you need to worry about, but basically if after that you want to cleave off of your what's it called? The guy on target, the Defender, the Scarlet Defender, and the reason for that is it takes less damage from AoE, and because this is an AoE pull, you're probably going to be doing a lot of AoE, so it's probably going to be having the highest health. And so if you can be focusing your auto attacks onto that mob, you can kind of even everything out at the same time. That's if you're able to do that. If not, you want to pick off and try and knock out 2 or 3 of the mobs as fast as you can with your big cooldowns just to kind of lower your incoming damage on the tank. Now we're going over to the Guardians. I didn't really want our tank to pull this many packs or this many mobs, but he did. Now the Treasurers do a random physical damage throw at any person in the group. It does pretty low damage. The Guardians do a stun, however, and so the Guardians are definitely something you want to watch out for. The Guardians only have 2 million health. They actually have less health in challenge mode than they do in heroic, but the Treasurers have more health. And so you want to basically be controlling the Guardians, and also the Guardians make your tank take more damage. And so you want to be paying attention to that too, and your tank needs to be ready to reset their stacks if their stacks get above like 3. I mean, it's very, very high damage. And you should be pulling this room at a rate at which is comfortable for your group. There's no real, magic way of doing it. As you can see, we pretty much got it under control here. Again, you just want to make sure that these mobs are also very kiteable. And so if your tank is having problems, you don't want to have to use your defensive cooldowns because for one, they're probably not going to be up, because if you did need to use them at all, you probably would have used them on the last pull and they're probably not up yet. Now as soon as you kill these, there's an extra Guardian in this hallway that's usually not here in challenge modes. It's kind of inconsequential, but it's something you guys might want to know. Now basically for this next pack is very easy to deal with. At this point you should probably know if you're going to get the challenge mode gold or not. This Scholar does about 2 or 3 different abilities. He does Scarlet Protection, which is the one that matters. He also does Firebolt Volley, which doesn't really do that much damage, but it is AoE damage to everybody in your raid. But it's important to either stun or basically prevent him from casting Scarlet Protection, because it makes the initiates or whatever, like the students do or take almost no damage. And what's important about killing the students is basically they stack a bleed on your tank, and your tank should probably wait for the bleed to fall off in between pulling the first pack of with the Scholar and then the second pack. Yeah, the pupil. Yeah, the pupil stacked with debuff. As you can see, the little fist thing on the tank, as you can see, is getting kind of low here, and that is very high damage. And so you want to always be paying attention to that and not kind of letting that get too high in between the pulls. And if you're tank, you need to kite away from that. For the boss does a couple of things that are important. He does Presence of Mind that needs to be dispelled because it can create burst damage. As you can see, there it is. Sometimes he'll get 2 stacks of it, sometimes he'll get 1. It depends. I'm not really sure why. Book Burner basically sets part of the room on fire. You can prevent Book Burner from occurring by standing in between the line that he casts from Book Burner to the books. And other than that, this is a pretty straightforward fight. I think the Blood Death Knight soloed this fight on challenge mode. So I mean, don't be intimidated. This is, as I said, very easy to do. And as you can see on the timer, we have plenty of time left. And he'll also do this Dragon's Breath that moves significantly faster than it does on Heroic. And so you need to be paying attention to that. And if you're doing this boss normally, or this dungeon normally, you should be using Heroism on the first boss and on the last boss. And it should come up by the time that your timer will end. If you are doing this instance very quickly, you can also use it on the second boss, because the second boss, you'll get the most out of it probably. And that's really all it takes. This is, as I said, one of the easiest ones to do. It's just that one pull at the beginning can be really rough with the Angry Hounds, and also the one pull after the Armsmaster Horror can be rough. But if you can get those 2 under control, you can easily get this one done and move on to more difficult ones. But anyway, that's pretty much it. So thanks for watching, and like, comment, subscribe.